Hey everyone, it's Scott Monkern again with yet another review. This is going to be a short review. I'm going to talk about Codenames Deep Undercover. I'm going to talk about a couple of things with respect to it. First, I'm going to do a general review of it. Sorry, I was putting that away. And then I'm going to talk about something weird that I've seen with respect to the sales of it, which I honestly say I'm not quite sure how I feel about. So, if you've played Codenames, and if you haven't played Codenames, why haven't you played Codenames? Came out in 2015. Basically, the way I've always described it, it's like the match game on steroids. Remember the old TV show, The Match Game? And what you do is you have two teams. With each team, you have someone who is the master, who gives out clues, and you've got a board that has a series of words, and the master is trying to get the other people on his team to pick the words. So it's kind of a clue-based game where you're a team clue-based game. So that's Code Words, very, very popular, a great social game. The nice thing is it scales really well. Minimum 4 people, obviously, effectively 4 people. But I have seen as many as 8 and 10, where you've got like 10 people with 2 Codemasters, and then then the teams have 4 people on them. So scales pretty well. In fact, the more people, the better, within reason with that game. Now, Codenames Deep Undercover is a new version of that game. None of the rules have changed from what I can tell. The rule book is exactly the same. The components functionally are the same. The only difference is they've gone from a standard set of very vanilla, family-friendly set of words to adult language. In fact, the game is black, and hence the name Deep Undercover. So, I played it. What do I think of it? First of all, I want to start by saying this is clearly in response, I think, in my estimation, to the very popular game Cards Against Humanity. Now, if you've ever played Cards Against Humanity, this is an extremely adult game, not safe for work. You can barely mention any single card in the entire deck without getting all sorts of censorship involved. And it's very controversial and politically incorrect, very, very on the extreme edge of things. I happen to really like Cards Against Humanity. I think it's a great social game for certain social groups. Would I play this, honestly, with, say, my grandparents if they were still alive? Honestly, probably not. I didn't have that kind of relationship with my grandparents. On the other hand, when I'm out at camp, when I'm out camping, Cards Against Humanity is one of the games that goes in the bag. It goes with me. So the question is Codenames is clearly trying to trade on this concept of games that have adult-oriented themes but are still good games. Now, did it succeed? Honestly, when we played it, the answer was no, it kind of failed. The problem is that, I think, twofold. One is that the language in Codenames Deep Undercover is not nearly as colorful as what you find in Cards Against Humanity. Now, there are some interesting words in there, sure, yeah. Words that you wouldn't say in polite company, but all you're doing is trying to get the other person to say those words, and the person says that word and everybody goes tee-hee-hee, and you move on. Cards Against Humanity is all about creating concepts where you take two very disparate things that tend to have, some of them have adult topics, some of them don't, and you combine them together to get some very weird and odd combinations. So Cards Against Humanity is not about the individual cards, it's about the combinations of cards that make it so interesting. Now, Codenames does have a combination thing associated with it where you try to combine things together. It just doesn't play the same way. So, honestly, if you're looking for an adult-oriented game with kind of more adult-oriented themes, provided Cards Against Humanity is not too extreme for you, certainly the way to go. If you're looking for something with adult-oriented themes, but you don't have that level of kind of comfort with adult-oriented themes, sure, Codenames Deep Undercover gives you a feeling for that. Honestly, from my perspective, just didn't quite meet my taste for an adult-oriented game. So that's the first topic. Now, the second topic I want to talk about, and I've now seen this twice, is that Target stores, a major department retail chain, actually paid CGE, for exclusive rights to this game. You can only get this game either through buying it through Target, or a retailer will go out and buy a copy from Target, then turn around and resell it. And they have to make a markup, so obviously they're always going to be more expensive than Target. This was the first game I saw Target stores do that with. I just saw at Congress of Gamers this last weekend that Evolution, there's a version of Evolution that just came out. I can't remember what exactly it's called. It's Evolution something. That Target did the same thing for. They basically they paid the company who did Evolution, and they paid them to do a dumbed down version, a kids version of Evolution. Which honestly, I thought the idea of a kids version of Evolution is kind of an interesting concept. It's kind of a cool idea. Evolution's a great game. I've got it on my shelf. But again, Target bought exclusive rights to it, so you can only buy it at Target. And I think it's only a matter of time where we start to see more of this, where you see that it's only available on Walmart, it's only available on Target, it's only available in Kmart. And you know what's coming down the pike is it's only available on Amazon. Unless Amazon decides not to go down that path. But honestly, I think they probably will. Now, I'm not saying this is illegal. I don't think it's... The problem I have with it is that I'm a big fan of those local game stores, FLG, Friendly Local Game Store, FLGS, that's what it is. I couldn't remember. And this is a killer for them. They're already having a hard enough time the fact that they can't sell board games at retail prices, because I can't tell you the number of times I've seen someone walk into a store, play a game, enjoy the game, find it, and then go online and buy it. Sometimes they even buy it online while they're in the store. And I'm appalled by this, that they took up the resources of the store to learn the game, experience the game, and then basically left the store with no profit at all. This is kind of another nail in that coffin, which is how can your local game store compete when Amazon and Walmart and Kmart are going to pay for exclusive rights to games? It's also going to raise the price of games ultimately. The Codenames Black is an expensive edition. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm a libertarian at heart. I'm like, well, you know what? If they want to do this, they want to do this. And we were talking to the company who did Evolution. I can't remember their name. I feel bad about that. I had heard someone who had spoke to them. They said, look, Target, and they had some of the same concerns. But they said, look, Target came in with a big pile of cash and said, here, take this cash and make this game happen. And what are you supposed to do? Because you got to make money if you're in the gaming industry. So, I honestly don't know how I feel about it. We'll have to see where it goes. I fear for Friendly Local Game Stores and this whole exclusivity, because now we've got the whole online retailer. We've got the whole Kickstarter situation, which is causing a lot of problems for local game stores if you're not aware of that. And now we've got this new thing, which is the question of exclusivity. Should a big company be able to buy exclusive rights to a game? So that's it. Now, getting back to the original concept, Codenames Undercover, honestly, disappointing. I've got it. I'll probably keep it for a while, but ultimately, I'll probably turn around and resell it. Okay, that's my review.